Hi Brookside, and welcome back to getting ready for the baseball season. This is part 3. In part 1 we talked about getting your glove ready and in shape. In part 2 we talked about getting our arms stretched out, ready to go, because one of the first things we're going to do when the baseball season gets started is to throw and play catch. And now in part 3 we're going to talk about playing catch, okay, and actually catching the baseball. And there's certain specifics to that we want to talk about, okay? All right, so the first thing is there's different parts of your glove, and when you're playing catch, you want to try to catch the ball in the pocket, okay? And there's a pretty specific part about where the pocket is, and you want to try to catch the ball every single time in the pocket, okay? So here's your baseball glove. Up on top here, we have what's called the webbing. Right in here, we have what's called the pocket. And then down here we have what's called the palm, okay? And if you can see my glove, it's really worn out, mostly in the pocket area, okay? So the biggest part where my glove is worn out is right up in here. You can see where it's worn out the most, hopefully. Okay, you can see right in there, it's worn out. Okay, that's because I catch just about every ball in the pocket, and I've been playing baseball for a long time, so it's a little bit easier for me than it might be for people that have just started. Okay, so the reason why we want to try to catch every ball in the pocket is that if we don't and we miss it by a little bit, we still end up catching the baseball, okay? So if we try to catch it in the pocket and we miss by a little bit too high, we catch it in the webbing. If we catch it in the pocket, or we try to catch it in the pocket and we miss a little low, we can still catch it off the palm. Okay, so that's number one. And number two is if you catch it in the pocket, it stays there and it's easier to go in and your hand just goes right in to get it. You don't have to be looking around for it with your hand or even looking around with your eyes. You feel it in the pocket, you go right in and get it out. Makes for a quicker exchange. Okay? So that's where you want to catch the baseball. And you'll know that you're catching it in the pocket because it makes a certain noise. Okay, and it makes a popping sound, and that's a great sound, and it's a great feel. Okay, so when I throw it in, you can tell if it's in the pocket. Now if I don't, like that one, and I catch it in the webbing, okay, it makes a far different sound. Okay, so you'll know if you caught it in the pocket when it makes that nice, good, crisp popping sound. Okay, all right, so we're getting ready to catch, and we want to try to catch every ball in the pocket. The other thing we want to do is we want to be in a ready position to catch the baseball. Okay, so when you're playing catch with your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother, you want to show them that you're ready to catch it by putting your hands up in the air ready to go. Okay, so you want to have your hands up right here. When the ball comes, if it's anywhere close to being in the center of your body, 2 hands are up. Now, if it gets outside of that, you'll have to use 1 hand, but you want to have a good target up here with 2 hands. This is called catching it with 2 hands because when you catch it, you can easily go in and make the transfer. Okay, so if you have your hands up, it's caught, you go right in, make the transfer, bring it out. If your arms are someplace else, you got to bring it all the way up and then search around for the baseball. Okay, so we're going to try to catch every ball in the pocket, and when you're getting ready to catch it, 2 hands are up. Lastly, okay, we're not going to catch balls like this. We catch balls with the pocket facing out. What I always like to say is, say hi to the baseball. Okay, so when you're trying to catch it, your hand's in this position. So if I was going to wave hi, okay, I would do this, and that way I would catch it. We don't want to try to catch it like this because if we miss, it's going to hit us. Okay, so we're catching it this way. If it's low, we catch it down here. Okay, but our glove pocket is always going to meet the baseball. Okay, all right. So thanks for joining me in part 3. When we get to part 4, we're going to talk a little bit about the grip, and then after that, we'll be ready to play some catch. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you soon.